Hi, I'm Katie Sieben, the State Senator for District 54, and I was also recently elected to be the Assistant Majority Leader. Real briefly, the Assistant Majority Leader helps in the running of the State Senate, so I will help the Majority Leader make determinations about what bills are heard and all those sorts of things that come along with setting the State Senate's agenda for the year. As you likely know, the Senate is now controlled by the Democrats, the House is controlled by the Democrats, and we have a governor who is a Democrat. To balance that, I think it's fair to say that we, and I especially in this position, am committed to working with our colleagues on the other side of the aisle to try to make as much legislation as possible to work with Republicans to pass legislation that is bipartisan. Certainly all bills we seek to gain input from the public, and as I think I've demonstrated in working well with State Representative Denny McNamara, a Republican from the southern half of Senate District 54, I'm really committed to working in a bipartisan way to get good things done for the residents of Senate District 54. I should also say that I'm the chair of the Senate Elections Committee, and so that's another area where we're going to need bipartisan support to get some updates and modernizations to our election system, and something that I'll be spending a significant amount of time on this legislative session. Just to recap, we're in the second week of the legislative session. Last week, the Senate Democrats came out with their top 4 bills, which is kind of just a way to help the public understand what some of our priorities are. The first bill was about the health insurance exchange, so that we are positioning Minnesota to best help consumers as the federal healthcare legislation is implemented here in the state. The next bill was raising the minimum wage. It raises it a quarter here in Minnesota and then indexes it for inflation. And I think there's a lot of data to support that those increases in the minimum wage really help the working poor be able to better afford living and having a somewhat better life. The third bill was all-day kindergarten, which is something I feel very strongly about, that we as the state need to support our school districts that in many cases are already offering all-day kindergarten, but in many cases they're either having their property taxpayers pay for that additional cost, like in South St. Paul, or they're asking families to pay to put their child in all-day kindergarten. I'm experiencing that now, as I just got the kindergarten roundup letter from the school district saying that if I want to enroll, my husband and I want to enroll our almost 5-year-old in kindergarten next year, it will be an additional $2,600. The research shows that kids who are in all-day kindergarten generally have better test scores when they're in 3rd grade, so I think it makes sense for preparing our workforce for the 21st century as well. And then the final bill that we discussed, or that we prioritized as the Senate DFL, was changing the way, making it more difficult, I should say, to put constitutional amendments on the ballot. The rationale being that we as a legislature should not manipulate the system in such a way where we can bypass the governor to try to amend our Constitution, which I think is what we saw with the divisive campaigns that were run on elections, on photo ID, and on the marriage debate this past election cycle. So I, again, appreciate the opportunity to talk to you today. Certainly, always feel free to call my office. The phone number is 651-297-8060. My home number, which I'm not there very often now, so it might be better to call the office, but my home number is 458-3194, or you can also email me In my next update, I'll have a list of when our town halls are scheduled with both Representative Dan Schoen and Representative Denny McNamara. Thank you.